Hey, good morning, Advantage members. It's Friday, December 8th. I'm going to do a quick market update. So again, just want to go through the market real quick, right? On an hourly time frame, BTC is still consolidating. We have the VWAPs here catching up to price. You could see the weekly VWAP right here, just right under where price is, around 43,000 flat. I think price is basically building a base right here in this particular area. If it even has one more swipe here, it's probably a pretty decent buying opportunity around 42.7, 42.9, this area. And if it starts breaking above, let's just say this local high right here around 44, that's another potential long right into this high, which is around 45, or quite possibly, higher around 47, 48. Okay. So again, that's just Bitcoin, which again, we like to pay attention to Bitcoin because as long as BTC continuously grinds up and is consolidating higher and higher and is not nuking, it is a very, very good thing for altcoins, especially altcoins like Solana, which obviously over the past, few months have cemented themselves in this massive, massive run up that they've had, right? As you could see. So this run up right here is effectively, a very telling sign that Solana is the dominant sort of altcoin of this local cycle that we've had since September and October. And it doesn't look like it's stopping anytime soon, right? If you look back on my Twitter feed, if you look back, on my thoughts on Solana, you will see that on a weekly basis, I think Solana is pretty much, in my opinion, pretty much open air till about 100 to 128. That's what it seems like to me. Obviously, I could be wrong, and let's just say things hit the fan. Like, for example, today we had a jobs report come out, and if somehow the market perceives that as bad, then we could basically be range bound for a little bit like this. But I don't see that as such. So I do think that Solana is effectively going to continue to grind higher over the next coming weeks. And I think, end of December, sometime in January, I'm expecting price to basically come around $120, $100 to 128, right? Now, again, obviously that goes one day at a time, right? I mean, if things completely change structure by the weekend, like let's just say this does this, and then by the weekend we do something like that, and then come Monday or Tuesday we do something like that, then obviously I might be wrong, or I might be early, let's just say, right? But I want to show you guys one thing, which is yesterday in the paid side of our Discord group. And again, if you are interested, the link is below for our Discord group here in the YouTube video that you're watching. The Solana long I took yesterday, letting my members know that this to me is a pretty good opportunity to get in long. I got in around like 65.79 or something. Pretty good so far, right? Obviously, from that point, let me see where that is. So let's just say around there. So now that's about an 11.4% capture, right? So I could even sell out right now and just be good. So once I'm done with this video, I'll assess what's going on in the market. It is Friday. I do want to pretty much realize some profit. I think one thing that people often make a mistake of, especially in trades in the market, especially with high leverage, is they often sort of misjudge the timeline of when they get into trades and when they should be getting out, and they try to justify their overly zealous sort of bullish reasoning or even bearish reasoning sometimes of overextending price targets. And you generally don't want to do that unless your cost basis is so low. For example, like we've talked about some of these altcoins within the Solana ecosystem, like STBot or Myro or Pumper. I've mentioned some of these altcoins from like very, very early stages, like when they were, maybe just a couple of 100K. And now some of them are trading, like STBot is trading close to $1 million. We see Pumper is trading to 2.4 million. We see, let me see here, Myro is trading 48 million, right? I don't think Myro's cost basis for me was super low. It was probably like maybe, I don't know, somewhere down here or something like that. But again, I I'm not buying these in big size. Like I think the biggest part of my portfolio right now in Solana ecosystem alts is things like what's it called, ST bot, and you know, I have to check my other wallets for the Jito airdrop. So again, Jito dropped yesterday, right? Rewarded a ton of people a ton of money. So you know that could be a very fascinating sort of liquidity add to the market. But these are really the only things I'm paying attention to. The other things are, you know, things like Kaya, Soul Scanner. Like Soul Scanner is kind of your Telegram bot style asset. And again, this one looks pretty good too. I pointed this out again to members. I didn't take any position in it, but I mentioned it to members. Let me see. Yeah, see Soul Scan right here around 30 cents, right? It's trading at 75, 76. So that's basically a 2x right there, you know. So these are the opportunities that you get when you know you see my research in our private Discord group, right? So again, if you're interested, let me know. Again, all the lock channels are for the paid members, but I can give you access for free for a couple of days. Okay. Again, none of this is investment advice. It's just my thoughts on the market, how I trade, etc. So now going back, a couple of things to discuss, which is number one, I do think the market is a little bit saturated and definitely overextended in some of these altcoins. I'm glad they have had some pullbacks. Like for example, Pumper had a small position in it. Luckily, I was able to get out pretty close to sniping the top. Like I think I was out at like 6.4 up here. And obviously Pumper is down like 60% or 70% since then. So obviously not a good thing. But you know, it could easily trade higher from here, right? I don't know. But most of those things are risky. So again, Pumper is kind of like your listing, like a bot platform. Myro is pretty much a meme coin, right? I don't know how much higher it's going to go. I don't know if it's going to nuke from here. But again, I have a small position in it. Jito is actually a little bit more DeFi related. Kaya, meme coin, Soul Scanner, Telegram bot, contract scanner. Shadow Token is more NFT related. NFT, DPIN, that kind of related. ST bot, Telegram bot, FluxB, Telegram bot. This thing is garbage, so don't pay attention to it. So for the most part, you can kind of see that there's three large categories that the market is effectively pumping, right? Telegram bots in general, meme coins, and then your typical DeFi products like Jito or Jupiter or you know, other things like Orca or Radium, right? All those things are all DeFi related, whether they're AMMs, which are automated market makers, or you kind of see they're related to lending, borrowing, staking. Those are the typical services that you see right now, right? DEXs, whatnot. What I sort of propose is, you know, I would like to see different categories start to rise. It would be great. Okay, Telegram bots, I think, are still not that big yet, but hopefully, right, they continue to grow. But the reality is, like, you want to spread that money into other new categories too, where you can also be early to buying that category. For example, DPIN and gaming, right? DPIN is basically like decentralized infrastructure. I forgot what the broader definition is, but basically things like render token, if you're not familiar with that. Things like, let me show you what render token is. It's like basically decentralizing your GPU render. See the render network, okay? So it's basically like, you know, yeah, decentralizing your GPU. And then you have Helium, which is, I think, same thing, but for your mobile, you know, data, Wi-Fi network, right? So people's network, wireless infrastructure that's decentralized. So all this stuff falls under the DPIN category, which I mentioned in my Twitter feed, okay? There's going to be many things coming out of this DPIN category. Another one is NOS, I think, which again falls under DPIN, Nosana. I had to look this up. I had no idea what it was. But again, this is already an extended market cap, right? $75 million as a market cap is not cheap anymore. Right? So, you know, these are the kinds of things that you want to be paying attention to, but maybe for like new ideas, new categories. Now, I don't know much about the gaming category. So if you have any ideas in terms of games that are coming up on Solana, let me know. I'd be interested in, having a deeper dive. I used to love some of the different games that came out, a couple of years back on Ethereum, on AVAX. I would love to try out something on Solana. Okay. So that's my general thought process of what I'm looking forward to in the coming days ahead. Okay. That is pretty much it. You can see tons of new pairs being listed, and just be very careful of just complete scams being listed here, because you will get pretty much pumped and dumped on, right? Definitely be very careful. And again, Solana as a category, slowly, as you can see, the TVL is building. When I started doing these videos a couple of days back more publicly, this was close to about 600 million. Now it's slowly and surely grinding up. I think this should, in my opinion, get to about 1.5 to 2 billion as Solana rises its way towards $100, $120, that original target that I spoke about. Okay. And once it gets to that, then I think, we've effectively saturated and pretty much gotten sentiment to an extreme high. Yesterday's sentiment was extremely high, and I told y'all that I'm going to take a little bit of profit, right? I let my members know. I let people know that, hey, I'm going to probably take some money off the table. And again, probably want to be relaxing for a week or two, just because you don't want to be pretty much over trading the market. Basically, that greed will get you into positions that you don't want to be in, and you'll buy and sell back and forth. So you don't want to be in that position. Okay. Anyway, all is good from the Sol ETH and Sol BTC front, which currently looks like Solana is pretty much dominating both in terms of relative outperformance. So that's good. Ideally, headed into the weekend and next week, we want to see Solana really take off higher from here. My general targets for Sol ETH are somewhere close to about 0.4. So close to about here. If we can get to that level, so that puts Solana ETH from here to here about 30% outperformance. Okay. I do think that's possible, right? Solana just has to outperform ETH by 30%. I think that's totally doable. I think Ethereum is already at like 2360. I think ETH has the potential to get to about 3,000, maybe 2,800, somewhere up here. If that's the case, then I think Solana easily goes to that 120 category up here, the 120 resistance level up here. Okay. That also happens to be a yearly pivot right here, 123.6. So a lot of things kind of, working our way towards this 120-ish range. All right, that's pretty much it. If y'all have any questions on how I do research or my thought process in the market, again, feel free to find me on Twitter or drop me a comment on YouTube below, or join our Discord where I provide, tons of different thoughts on markets, what I'm doing, what I'm not doing, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. All right. That's it, everybody. Take care. Good luck. Cheers.